Hi, I'm Philipp Körber, and I want to build an algorithm that trades like the ROBO-ETF on QuantConnect. Why the robotics and automation theme? The latest world robotics data from the International Federation of Robotics, the IFR, shows a full doubling of industrial robots deployments over the last decades. That's more than twice the volume from 10 years ago. I will put a link to this article in the description of the video. Check it out if you want. It focuses on a lot of more stuff. So this isn't just hype. It's capital flowing into physical productivity boosts. Intelligent vision models and adaptive learning are now allowing robots to understand and react to complex environments. When investors talk about AI finding its true purpose, this is it. As a benchmark for our algorithm, we will eyeing on the ROBO-ETF, the Global Robotics and Automation Index. And there you can see a bunch of names, big names, Rockwell here you can see, of course. So the question is, can we replicate something like this ETF? Complexity completely programmatically and backtest it. And if we can, how does it perform over the last 5 years? So here on TradingView, we have the monthly chart of this Robo ETF, and you can see it's performing quite well, but it also has very hard drawdowns. Of course, 2022 was not a good year for everyone. We will build, this will be our benchmark here for our algorithm. And what I wanted to say is the final comparison isn't about beating the ETF, but having a more dynamic access to what we are doing. And with this benchmark in mind, let's build the framework. For implementing our algorithm, we will use QuantConnect, which is a great platform which gives data, backtesting possibilities, and a trading engine. And they have two languages that you can work with. One is C#, the other is Python. Python is much more established in the community, so we will use that. So let's switch over to our workspace and let's start implementing a strategy. I've created just a new project with QuantConnect, and they provide already some boilerplate to have a good starting point. Before writing code, here is the strategy. One is defining a universe. Second is the signals. We will long entry on price cross above 100-hour SMA with some RSI confirmation. 3, portfolio construction. We will just, for now, for simplicity, equal weight all the positions. Long only and no leverage. 4 will be rebalance monthly and keep it kind of ETF-like. 5, evaluation is track performance and risk metrics and compare. In the end, we will compare it to our Robo benchmark. Okay, so let's start. Every QuantConnect algorithm inherits from the QC algorithm. That's the foundation, so no trading logic yet. 2020 to 2023, just for simplicity. And let's set our start cash to 100K. That's kind of a normal standard in the QuantConnect community. Second is the universe. We will rebuild the Robo ETF, but for now we will just do let's say 10 different stocks or something in that industry, make an array out of it so our algorithm can iterate over the instruments. Step 3 will be our indicators and the tracking. Each ticker with hourly data and attach a 100 period SMA and a 14 period RSI per symbol. So let's initialize the indicators here. And now we will give each symbol its indicators. Now we will need to set a warm up so that the indicators are ready when we want to start trading. Here we are in the on data section that runs on every bar. And what we will do there is we loop the universe, get price, SMA, RSI, and everything that we need. Then we set our holdings accordingly. Of course, we will only do that if our self warm up is ready. And now we're gonna iterate over every symbol. So As Cursor is just amazing. He helps me a lot here what we actually want to do. Just need to double check here a little bit if that's correct. Like here we will just make some booleans so that we have our gates, so to speak, for entering a position or not. So implement the price distance to the SMA. Now we will say if we are not invested with that instrument yet and the gates are all right and say yes, then let's get invested. So here we have our entry logic. Now we can also set something like a sell logic. What we will do here is when we are invested, we exit on stop loss, price below, let's say 90 of buy, or when price crosses below the SMA. For the crossover exit, we require at least 2 hours held to avoid whipsaws. So we have our universe here. That's fine for now. We can always make it a little bit more complex later. We have our indicators here, the initialization of the indicators, and we have our entry logic here and our exit logic. So what's left is the true monthly balance, and some math I saw is not correct here. I will quickly fix that. Anyway, it's not supposed to be a tutorial. I will put the link to that code in the description. So I have built with some preparations, of course, a nice, neat 133 line trading bot. Of course, like the heavy lifting is done by QuantConnect. And I think we can just start backtesting it. I will just click here, backtest project. And QuantConnect's backtesting includes realistic execution, fees, and slippage. So we're already done here. And from 2020, from 2020 to 2023, we have around here like a 43% return, which is not bad. Let's quickly compare it to the ROBO-ETF. And if we compare them side by side, just by eye also, like again, my goal is not to really make them compete against each other, but we can see that our trading bot is actually not doing so bad. I can see here some stocks are not involved, Kodak AI, for example, but I think that's because they just started recently with going public. Anyway, we have a return of 43.78. That's not so bad. And the big advantage over an ETF, we can always add stocks while the algorithm is live. We can always change some things. One big advantage is here when we have it in our own code, that we can make some improvements. For example, like our code now doesn't have any like every symbol gets the same size. It's 1/n basically. And we don't have any volatility based position sizing. Definitely we need to add a trailing stop loss to better make like profit from the gains. Implement some volume confirmation for SMA signals. And again, like so many things you can improve. Multi-time frame filters, some adaptive RSI levels, and all that nerdy quant stuff. But for now, I think we've built a nice little neat algorithm here, and let's deploy it. Within QuantConnect, that's actually quite easy. Just click here, Live Trade Project. And I've connected it to my Alpaca account. We can also like just to, this is the wizard here. They have like a wizard, and there you have a lot of brokers that you can connect to. One is Alpaca that I use now as a paper trading environment. I will put my algorithm live and just let it trade with a little bit of paper, and I don't know, see over 1 month how it performs. What's the, if there are any bugs. that we couldn't see in the backtest. We can even set some notifications here on order events or insights, but I will not do that now. So we will deselect it and click deploy. We need to wait a little bit. And just like that, we are live. So the question is, of course, like, which is better for most people? I would say probably the ROBO-ETF, because it's just shoot and forget. It's simple, passive, and doesn't require debugging code at like 2 a.m. in the morning because you have read some news and want to change your algorithm based on that. But if you're a developer or a quant, the bot gives you like a lot of flexibility. You can filter companies differently, change allocations, or layer in signals like momentum, sentiment, Markov chain models if you want. And one thing, of course, like this bot gives you visibility. ETFs don't show you their backtest. With code, you can run a backtest if you want 10 years to the past of data instantly and see how the theme behaves. So if you're curious about quant development, QuantConnect is a great place to experiment. You can like test ideas, replicate funds, and even deploy strategies live here for a small fee, of course. As I said, I will a little bit improve the strategy. Position sizing is one thing, a better stop loss logic. And when it doesn't perform too bad with the paper account, I will also consider it putting this thing live for the named reasons. Like, I think a robotics and automation theme will really accelerate in the next few years. This is my first video here on YouTube. I don't know. Thanks for watching. If you like it, then you can subscribe, and thanks for watching.